Good morning, everyone. It's Suzanne Tucker from Generation Mindful, and we're doing our Feelings Friday on Sunday morning. I want to tell you, number one, why I'm here in New York, and I was presenting at a trauma-informed conference, and I got to present Generation Mindful and our approach to mindful, playful connection. So it was incredible. I presented for 3 hours yesterday. Friday, I was deep in conferences all day, missing you all, and wishing that I had jumped online to just say hi and tell you what was going on. But I'm going to do it today. And actually our share this week is the mantra, you are love. So I'd like to begin. I'm actually sitting at my hotel outdoor courtyard, which is awesome and beautiful, and I'm outside, and I just thought I just wanted to connect with you all. So there might be noise, there might be people coming through, that's okay. But let's start with our just getting centered and very simply closing our eyes and taking a deep breath in and out, letting those words fill you. As you breathe in, you are love. As you breathe out, you are love. And now we'll just bring it back to the circle. We are a circle, you know. So where this idea came from, I was sharing yesterday, and I always open with, like, who am I, right? People want to know, who are you? Beyond just the founder of Generation Mindful, what's your background? People want to know why. Why do you do what you do? And I had not even planned on telling my story, sharing my story, but as things happen, I did. And then it dawned on me, my real why. I don't know that I've told you all my real why. Beyond, I'm a physical therapist. I'm into mindful attachment connection. I'm a parent educator. I'm an infant massage educator. Why? So one of the most, formative moments of my life, I ended up telling at this one seminar yesterday. And it's really where the beginning of our mantra, which is you are love. You are quite literally made out of love. You are imperfectly perfect, whole, and complete. Right? So where that came from, I want to just tell you. So I'm a mom. You know that I'm a mom of actually 9. You might not know that. So I have a 17-year-old, a 15-year-old, and twin 8-year-olds. And then we have 5 baby angels. And when I do big talks, I always introduce myself, and I usually include all of my children, because those 5 baby angels are a big part of my spiritual journey into motherhood, as you can imagine, right? And I wanted to share with you guys where that came from. So really my mindfulness journey is what carried me through. We had 5 miscarriages in 2 years. And it was like spiritual warfare, truly, each one. And people hear 5, and I think they think, oh, the 5th must have been horrendous, or the 4th. But you know what? The 1st was pretty darn tough. And each one was unique. But for anyone out there who's lost one child, I want you to know I suffered deeply with that first loss. In a way that I think it took me 4 or 5 losses to really process the depths of my grief. So if you have loss in your life, one thing is I want to really give you permission to accept it and to be in it deeply. And that's really what Generation Mindful is about. We're giving permission to our feelings. And that's a journey, and it took me a lot to go deep with my feelings around grief. With my 4th pregnancy, I held on so tight. It was the opposite of mindfulness. I was going to will this baby into being. I held on, and I think I held my breath for 13 weeks. The day I exhaled and started to tell people we were pregnant, because I finally was trusting it, we lost the baby. We went and had an ultrasound and found out that we were miscarrying at that time. And that put me face to face with that I don't control. Even if I think I can and I will things to be and I hold my breath, it's not going to make them so. And I found that my power lived in the present moment and being with what is. When we decided to go into another pregnancy, which would become our 5th loss, baby Nina, I decided that I was going to enjoy every day of that pregnancy. I was going to breathe, and I was going to feel that life inside of me and know that it may not be a life that I hold in my arms, but I was going to be present to the joy of carrying this one inside of me, and that is what I did. Where the mantra came was on the last day of that pregnancy when I woke up, and I didn't have any external signs of miscarriage, but my intuition was screaming at me that this was the end. And thankfully, I listened to that voice we all have inside of us. And that's another part of Generation Mindful. It's about listening. It's not letting other people tell us how to parent, right? It's about owning it and knowing that we have wisdom inside of us. And on this particular day, the voice said, inside of me, go to the park. Go take a walk because you have an elephant on your chest and you cannot breathe. And that's how it felt. So I went to the park, and as I was walking, I just got in tune with the beauty all around me. The smell, it was October in St. Louis, the park was gorgeous, the trees were gorgeous, the air was gorgeous, people were so kind, everyone was saying hello and good morning to me and meaning it. And I felt connected. I felt one inside myself. I felt connected to the world around me. And in that moment, it was bliss. It was just one of the most blissful moments of my life. And then it all came rushing back in, and I remembered what was going on. I remembered the situation of that day and my fear of loss, and the elephant came back on my chest. And as I continued to walk, I heard another voice in my head, and it literally said, "See, Mom, I could be in your belly or I could be up above. Either way, you are love. You are love. You are not the circumstances of your life. You are love, and you can love this day." And that was the gift. That was the gift. I carried it ever since that day. The knowledge, the embodiment that I am love, that I am not a puppet on a string, happy because my life is happy, sad because my life is sad. And I carried that revelation into the next day where we discovered we were losing that baby. And it is a gift. It's been a gift in my life. And through that acceptance, my husband and I surrendered to the fact that we would probably not have another child. And the minute we did that, we conceived twins, quite miraculously. So I tell you my story because I want you to know that the things we stand for in Generation Mindful are embodied truth, and I'm on this journey with you, and I want to share ourselves, our lives. I want us to share what is connection. What is connection? And for me, I promised I would tell you how I use that mantra, I am love. What I do is when I feel disconnected, I simply breathe in, I love myself, or I am love, and I breathe out, I am enough. I am love, and I am enough. So that is it for this week. Leaving this trauma-informed conference, what I want you to know is whether we have overt trauma or covert trauma, conscious or unconscious trauma, we all have it. All the trauma is fear. Fear. It's a fear response, stress response, okay? That's what trauma is. It's not something that somebody else has. We all experience it, okay? We all experience it because we all have a fear response. So I want you to know that this mindfulness practice is about helping us with our humanness, with our lives. And we can do it for ourselves, and we can do it for and with our children, okay? Because all children also have the fear response. All children feel stress. So I hope you're joining me on this journey. I'm glad you're here this week. Come back next week. Check out Generation Mindful. Make sure you're signed up for our weekly newsletter, weekly little email. I'll do my best to get this out in the email today. And I'm just sending you all so much love. Blessings.